What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Sillzcast. I'm your host, Sillz. Today, I'm joined by the one and only Jack Flood. Jack, thank you for joining, my man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, brother.
Of course, man. So, for those who don't know you, for whoever you haven't popped up on their TikTok page or they haven't seen you on the Chipotle app, tell them a little bit about who you are, what you do, what you're all about.
Yeah, so what's up, guys? I'm Jack Flood. I'm a decathlete, first and foremost. If you don't know what that is, that's a track and field athlete that does 10 events. Basically, the winner at the Olympics is declared the world's greatest athlete. A lot of people, when I say decathlon, they say, oh, I can run and swim. No, it's all track and field. So it's run, jump, throw. I'll do the order right now. First day, 100-meter, long jump, shot put, high jump, and then the 400-meter dash, which is one lap around the track as fast as you can. That's like a 10, 12-hour day. You go to bed, you wake up early in the morning. You start the day with hurdles, 110 hurdles, throw the discus, the pole vault, the javelin, and then you end it with a 1,500, which is like 100 meters short of the mile run. So you can imagine what type of training that takes to do it. Even recently, someone commented like, "Oh, you can't train that long. It's not good for you and shit." And it's like, bro, you're not doing the decathlon. Like, you don't understand. To the average person, yes, it's unhealthy, but to someone who's trying to be the best athlete, that's what it takes, training 4 to 5 hours a day.
Dude, that's insane because we're talking about sprints. We're talking about the 100-meter. That's just going as fast as you can. And I've done track, and the cutoff between the 100-meter and the 200-meter is insane. I remember the first time I did the 200-meter, I was smoking them, and then I got like halfway around there, and I ended up coming in last place because that it takes a little endurance. The 400-meter is crazy because if people are doing that, you're just sprinting the whole time.
Have you done a 400?
I have not, but I've seen it done, and I've been like, damn, dude.
Dude, you should have tried it at least. Everyone should do one 400-meter in their life. You're watching this and you're looking for a cardio workout. Do a warm-up and just run one lap as fast as you can and just see what happens to you. That'd be fun.
I'm gonna put that on my to-do list. I'm gonna run a 400-meter. I'm gonna see what happens because that sounds fun.
Yeah, if you run faster than 60 seconds, that's very good.
So 60 seconds is good for the 400-meter.
For someone who doesn't run and like maybe have us a background, but I like the best in the world run 44, 43, which is insane. That's like sub 11 100-meter dash 4 times nonstop around the track.
I was gonna say an 11 100-meter is pretty solid, right, for the average person.
11:00 is fast, yeah.
Damn.
And then you do that nonstop. It's crazy.
Damn. Have to try that one out. So then the first day you do 100-meter, 200-meter, 400-meter. The next day you do discus, pole vault, javelin.
No, so it's the 100, then a long jump.
Long jump.
Shot put, which is you throw the big ass ball. It's 16 pounds.
Right.
So I know a lot of people lift weights here. Like, you can lift a lot, and it'll definitely help you throw farther. But then you're probably going to be suffering in the 400 and the mile. So it's like balancing all these different energy systems, and just it's a balance. That's why it's the world's greatest athlete. It's like, how do you run a mile but then also sprint super fast? You know,
that's super interesting because there is a lot of talk and a lot of debate within like the fitness and bodybuilding community about cardio killing your gains and long distance running, sprinting, what effect that has on your strength. So from your experience in doing this, what would you have to say to that?
Definitely, I don't run long distance. So yes, we have the mile, but all our running, it's mainly sprinting, like accelerations. Could be under 100 meters, really, 30-meter sprints. And then if we train for the 400, we'll run 300 plus meters, but only like 2 to 3 reps. It's not a lot. That's like how you get super lean muscle, in my opinion, is people who sprint. And yes, if you're running like mileage, I don't run mileage. Like, people ask me how much mileage you run a week. I have no idea, because it's just, that's not what I'm training for. What you're training for the workout you do is like necessary. Like you're a product of the workouts you do, basically. And if I wanted, my mind's gone all over the place because it's just so much to talk about. I'll cut it off. So basically, what was your question again? I got so wrapped up in.
Yeah. So basically, the question is with weightlifting. There's this debate about cardio, whether it be sprints or long distance,
Okay.
and
So
that
back to
effect.
that. Yeah, basically, like, yes, the more you run, the harder it is to like put on mass because you're burning more calories when you run, and you're burning more fat. But if you combine sprinting and then you lift, let's say squat and bench, you can get really big, but you just have to put more focus on the lifting. And I mean, not many people have 4 or 5 hours a day to train. So in my case, I'm blessed to do that. So if I sprint and then let's say I lift 5 days a week, I'm still going to get big. I'm still going to gain 10, 15 pounds of muscle. But it's just going to be lean muscle. But I'm sure if I just focus on lifting and not burning, obviously I had more time to put more volume in lifting weights and I would get bigger. But if you're worried about, if I do cardio, I'm not going to get struck, that's a stupid myth. It's just like you'll be fine. I'd rather you work on your heart muscle because like you're gonna have that your entire life. And like this, I don't mean to insult anyone, but like the reason most people who like lift weights don't run is because lifting weights is easier. I mean, running is hard as shit, and that's why you don't do it.
I hear you, man. So, I mean, what I tell people is, like, regardless of what the answer is to the question, if running does have some impact on your gains, the holistic part of it, it's like you said, your heart's a muscle you have for your life. And I personally, I've grown to enjoy running. I hated running as a kid, like any sort of long distance running. I was a goalkeeper in soccer, and that was primarily just because I wanted to get out of as much running as possible. But I feel like once you program your mind to enjoy that stuff, like going out and just kind of finding a way to enjoy it, it makes it way more fun. And for me, I've enjoyed running, and so I haven't worried about it killing my gains or whatever it might be because it's just a part of my life that I enjoy now.
Yeah, it probably puts you in a better mood, and
100%.
If you get burnt out with lifting, because I mean, when I was younger, I would just lift in the summer. I wouldn't run, and I remember I would just not get bored of it, but there's so much lifting you can do. You got to take a break. So another way you can push yourself is like, all right, run.
Right. I mean, lifting. I mean, optimal. If you want to get the most out of the gym, you only really need to spend 5, 6, 7 hours in the gym tops per week. It's not one of those things. A lot of people think they need to spend like 20 hours in the gym and they're just sitting there all day. But
6 days a week. You don't got to lift 6 days a week. Like you can go more volume in like 3 or 4 days, and then when you recover and have off days, that's when you're literally growing and getting better. Is your
exactly, and that's why it's so important on your off days to focus on your nutrition and your recovery and your rest.
Exactly, and I would debate like going for a jog on your rest days will actually make you bigger because you're getting blood flow, and with nutrition and blood flow, you're going to grow and recover faster and be less sore.
100%. It's just active recovery.
Yeah.
And so you were saying that you train how many hours a day?
So like probably right now. All right. So I just moved to Texas to train at TCU with the group, and
nice.
We're out there like 3 to 5 hours total. It's a lot because we just go to event to event to event, and then afterwards we lift Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
So when you say with the group, that's another question I had. So you're training 5 hours a day. You're doing decathlon full time. You are a professional decathlete.
Yeah.
So how is that structured? Like, is there a league? Do you guys have like scheduled meets? Are you training for the Olympics? How exactly does that work?
That's a good question. So basically, you don't see decathlon a lot because, max I'm going to do a year is between 3 and 5 decathlons. In 2021, I only did 2 decathlons the entire year. So a lot of the year is you're just training. And then when you have that scarce opportunity, whether it's the USA Championship. So there's this thing, USATF, United States of America Track and Field. They host national championships, and if you place top 3, you go to the World Championship, or if it's an Olympic year, you make the Olympic team. And there's decathlons, let's say college, like University of Virginia hosts one, or University of Tennessee can host one. You would do that one in like April, just like an early season decathlon, see where you're at, and then you'll peak for the United States Championship. Or the highest level decathlons are in Europe. So last year I got invited to Gotsis, which is like the world famous decathlon meet. The best decathletes in the entire world go to Gotsis, and it's just a decathlon meet. Usually decathlons are built into track meets, so there would be like other people competing, and we're just in there doing the decathlon. Whereas Gotsis, it's straight up decathlon, and the girls, which is heptathlon. And so this year, my schedule is looking like mid-April, one in California, Gotsis, which is end of May, and then USA Outdoor Championships, which is beginning of July. So if you see, they're spread like every month or 3 weeks, because you can't do a decathlon every 2 weeks even. Like if you do a decathlon, you're going to have to rest a week of like not doing much at all, because it takes so much out of you. You can imagine like a marathon. You don't do a marathon every month either. They're spread out because there's so much you can do. So yeah, it's different than definitely like NFL and baseball, where there's like a set schedule. Like this team's playing here, you get tickets to this. Track is just a completely different way of doing things.
That's super interesting. So from an athlete's perspective, you doing this full time, when you go to these meets, is there prize money for the winners? Do you guys have endorsement deals? How do you manage this? And obviously you have a lot of other stuff going for you, but how do the athletes manage to kind of make a living off of it?
That's a really good question. So like I actually lose money being a decathlete because I'm not at like the highest level yet. I'm kind of at a high level, like top 50 in the world, but not like. And then you would think if you're top 50 in the world, you can get shoe deals and stuff, but it doesn't work like that. You basically have to be like top 3 or even the best to get like good shoe deal that they'll pay for a lot of your shit. And I'm not there yet. And then if you place at USA's, you get prize money. If you place at this meet in Europe, you get prize money. So those big meets definitely have prize money, but it's like, it's not much, So I took a different route. I realized early on, most people just give up because they don't get funded. It's like, how do you train 5 hours a day in work and then be the best at your sport? It's impossible.
Because that's got to be brutal. You probably got guys working second jobs on top of the training they're already doing.
Exactly. I mean, there is a mentality, you got to do what you got to do, but it gets to a breaking point where it's like, you can't train this hard and then work a job. And then you can do it, but you're not going to be your best, I guess you could say. So I realized that early on, I was like, fuck it. I see this opportunity in social media. I know if I post and like something catches, I can get brand deals, people can pay me, and like that's going to fund my lifestyle, and then I know athlete and social media leads to the same road. It's like boost your social media. It's going to get you better. Like if you're an athlete, you're going to want to have a good social media page. It's like a win-win type of thing. Like, because if you're the best athlete, but you have no social media, brands don't really care that you're good. They want reach. They want, awareness of what you're doing.
Especially in today's day and age.
Yeah. In my case, I'd rather all I care about is like being good. I don't really care about the social media, but I had to do the social media thing so I can like be good, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Because it funds it.
It funds it. Yeah, and I mean nowadays, like you said, I mean it's all about building a brand for yourself. I mean, even and especially in a sport like that where you're really doing a good thing for the sport, getting the name out. Like, you know, all of the 100-some thousand people who follow you are seeing the sport. You probably have people taking it up because of you. So I mean, it's definitely a good thing for the game. But you spoke about. Go ahead. Sorry.
I would say as like a big purpose of mine and like motivation, my why, because you need to know your why to what you do. Is like, fuck it. Like, I'm not the best at cat in the U.S., but I bet I'm the most known. Like,
yeah,
and that's crazy to me. Like, why doesn't anyone know? Why wouldn't all these hundreds of thousands of people know number one in the U.S.? It's not a mainstream sport, but I can help it bring awareness to the sport, you know, and I know that now that I have sort of a platform, when I get to the highest level, maybe number one, or make an Olympic team, it's gonna be like this breakthrough in my mind. It may not be, and I'm okay with that, but it will help the sport, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely, and you're killing it on that end. And you mentioned brand deals, which you are absolutely killing it with. As I alluded to at the beginning, you linked that deal with Chipotle, which was crazy. I remember even I saw that, and I was like, no way. I pulled up the app, and I was like, yo, this dude's like actually on here. So, first of all, the Flood Bowl, that was the thing. So what is the Flood Bowl? I know you do the to maximize the CPD. You got the side tortilla and the bowl, but what else is going on there?
You basically get everything on there, but you just ask for extra and you max out your bowl. And the reason I did that is because it's like, why would I cook, clean, spend all that energy doing that when I can literally just go to Chipotle and it's like, it was cheap. Like, it used to be like $7.
Yeah, right? What the hell happened?
So I used to get this fat bowl for $7 and like it would fill me up the entire day, you know, with my training. So it saved me time, it saved me money. And then like I was been doing that for a while, but then because I had TikTok, I was like, let me just post this shit. Like I'm already doing it. Why don't I just post it? I eat every day. Let's see what happens. And then like it was on a roll. It was like boom, 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 boom. And then like someone sent me an email and I said, oh, okay. No, someone DM'd me an email at Chipotle and I emailed Chipotle and then like, yeah, we'd love to work with you. And I was like, okay, let's do it.
Oh shit. I remember seeing like you would post videos like, yo, everybody go to Chipotle's recent and spam them. And I remember going over there and being like, dude, like there's no way they're not seeing this. Cause they literally, you had an army of people just going at them and then it happened. So that was crazy. What was that like process like working with Chipotle and like, you know, getting your face on the menu and all that? Take me through like how that went.
Yeah, that was fun. It was basically they're like, well, what's something you want to do? Because this was what, February, January. I think when I was getting people to spam, I was like, guys, you got to put this on the app. It was like a joke. Like I would say stupid shit like, oh, it's a national emergency. I would do like these stupid things that were funny. But then like you said, people would spam it. And I'm like, what's going on? And yeah, when they got back to me, they're like, yeah, we noticed you. I was like, of course, 2,000 people are commenting on your post. Like, of course you noticed this. And then they're like, oh, well, we have this new chicken coming up. Do you want to help promote it, whatever? And so then we used my bowl to kind of promote the new chicken. So it was a win-win type of thing, you know? So, and then you go on the app and it's me and it was cool, but I didn't realize that people actually gave a fuck. It's kind of weird when you like, I just live my life And then it's like, from the outside, it seems cool, but to me, it's kind of just like, whatever. I don't know. It's weird. It's like I don't give a fuck really. It was kind of just like, that's not like fulfilling to me. Like other things are fulfilling to me, as in like my well-being and like the way I feel day to day, and just like the impact I'm having. Like having this thing. I'm sure if someone who was like weren't fulfilled, they would use this as like a thing to like get this cheap dopamine hit, you know. But it's like, no, it's like, I got the bowl. All right, who gives a fuck, you know? That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, but I mean, it's a good measure of what you've done to this point with everything else. Just to, kind of look back. I know when things happen so quick, sometimes it can just pass you by, and you don't even take a second to pat yourself on the back.
Yeah, if I was, because now that's been a long time, and some people probably think I'm like sounding ungrateful. I'm very grateful that I got to do it. Like, I thought it was badass. Like, it is badass. But like you said, I'm not just gonna stop because I got that. Like, I know a lot of people would get that deal and then like almost use it to like be cool and shit. It's like, no, it's not about that. But it's like, it was evidence to me that like, keep on this path of social, because you're gonna get bigger deals on the way if you keep producing and performing well. Because at this point, like, I think being a better athlete will help my brand more.
Right. Yeah, I think you bring up a good point, because with social, it really is a lot about just not giving up. And with TikTok, it's been around for what, like 2.5, 3, 4 years. And we're starting to get to the point where I'm seeing a lot of accounts that I used to see, pretty successful, I guess, just go through a rough patch and just kind of give up. And for me, it's kind of sad to see that, because, people put in all this work and it's just all for nothing.
Yeah. Well, they probably got sick of it because like you're posting and then, YouTube pays fucking crazy amount. That's why you really should go to long form. I thought about it. It's what are you willing to do? I don't think I'm willing to do that yet. But
it's tough.
Yeah, because it's your life. Like, and I mean, if I got educated better, I would go to YouTube. But most people probably successful on TikTok, they realize they're putting so much in, but they get nothing out of it.
Right.
So that, like you said, they stop.
A lot of giving. Yeah, it can be a lot of giving, a lot not returning, especially like if you're trying to, like for me personally, I work a full-time job. So it's like so much of my free time goes into, making these videos and stuff. So there's so many points where I'm just like, dude, like, is it worth it? But, it's so many times, but sometimes you just gotta power through in those situations.
Respect though. Full-time job and doing what you've done, that's awesome.
Dude, it's harder than I ever thought it would be. But yes, it's crazy. One other thing I want to talk about, because the Chipotle collaboration might not have even been your biggest one. You also link with Mr. Beast, who's like enormous.
Yeah, so I lived in North Carolina. He also lived in North Carolina. I just randomly got a DM from him on TikTok, like, "Yo, you want to make a QPD video?" And I was like,
"Damn,
yeah, I want to make one." And then like, that was like in February, and then like, all right, we could do it in March. So then we finally found a date. They were already doing it in an event with their like Shrek quesadilla or something. So like, I drove an hour and a half there. I met everyone. It was interesting because a lot of them saw my videos and knew who I was, because he has like this whole fucking team, And I'm like,
just like you got a team. The one's making the massive discoveries.
And like, yo, I see your videos. A big fan. I was like, wow, this is interesting. Like, you guys are interested in me, but I'm like, I'm with the fucking best guy who's ever done it, ever. And like, what the fuck? It was just interesting. And then like, I met Jimmy and we made the video first. We did a first try. Like, they just go off script. they started the video and they just said shit. It was so interesting. They kept going on and on and on, and it was cool. They had a mic on them at all times. They had this guy like a light, and what I learned from them was just like how their minds operate.
Right.
Like he is literally just thinking about YouTube and how good he can get at YouTube 24/7. Like he was telling me video ideas. Like if you want to like get more views and shit, you just have to. The crazier the idea, the better it's going to do. And then you see what he does, and it's like, yeah, it's pretty true. You know, like it's really like take time to think of like really good ideas, and then just boom, execute them. You know, and TikTok, it's hard because when you're starting off, you want to just post as much as possible to get the reach, and maybe one video can hit and bring it. But I guess at this point now, it's more important about like think of a really good video idea. Maybe it might take longer to make, and you just put it out and execute it. Like because when he was talking about it was like you have to word things like obviously the hook, like that's like pretty basic. So so we made the video, whatever, and then like I left, I said bye, and then that was it. Like it wasn't like anything big or anything. It was, and that was literally like as the Flood Bowl came out, so it was like 2 back-to-back things that were pretty cool. But what was I saying? So I was just thinking what he was saying, and then that Monday, because that was over the weekend, I made this video. I was like, I'm gonna run faster than 99.9% of humans, and I got like 4 million views or something like that. And that was just proof to me, like, all right, Jimmy's onto something. It's like you have to meet people where they're at almost, and like because unfortunately mainstream and just like the people who are on TikTok, like you have to grab them, and if it's like stupid and kind of dumbed down, they're gonna watch it. You get what I'm kind of saying? Like Like I can make a stupid video like this is how to get big biceps, or this is how you get a 6-pack in 5 hours. They're gonna fucking watch it. But you can make the best content, most informative thing, and it gets the lowest views. You know?
I mean, that's in the fitness space. That's definitely a thing, and I'm guilty of that to an extent. I mean, you know, I'll never say anything that's not true, but like I'll say something that's a little bit corny and might be a little bit exaggerated. Like I'll say something like, you know, at the beginning, I'll say like supersets are bullshit, and then I'll go on to explain why supersets aren't effective or something like that. But like you kind of got to, like you said, meet people halfway there like that, and just be a little bit more. But then you do have the people who are like say something ridiculous, and then it's like, I wouldn't do that. But yeah, you got to be crazy with social media, man. You got to say some crazy stuff.
Yeah, like I was in the car today, and I thought of an idea that was funny, and I was like. I was going to say, getting a 6-pack is the easiest thing you can do. Like, to me, it is. Like, the process of how I would do it is the easiest shit. But to millions of people who don't have it, they'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, you kind of got to stroke that, like, you got to poke at people almost. Like, saying something so absurd.
That it gets them thinking. That it gets them thinking. Because, I mean, if you just say, like, here's how to get a 6-pack, they're just going to be like, all right, here's another video about that, about how to get a 6-pack. Whereas you say something like that, people are like, people might get triggered. People might be like, oh, like, I want to watch this. I want to get a 6-pack. So, like, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, but if let's say it gets 1 million views and 10,000 people actually take something out of it. So that's 10,000 fucking people. You know, and that's something we underestimated, too, is, like, even if your video did way worse, it's like, even if it's 5,000, it's like, that's 5,000 fucking people. Like, that's a lot of people, you know?
I love that, man.
You can't play the numbers game.
I think about that all the time. Sometimes when I get pissed about views, and like, even when it's lower than that, even when I get a video and it's like 1,500 views, I'll be like, well, like 1,500 random people pulled out their phone and like watched me talk. So like, that's, you know, like, that'll humble me sometimes. And then I'll think about like, if I'm just going through my notifications, I'll see people liking my videos. It's like, wow, like any given point, like my face is on somebody's screen, like multiple people.
That is weird too. I never thought of it like
crazy to think of. Yeah, like any hour of the night, there's somebody watching you talk about CPD. It's nuts.
Yeah, that's definitely a weird thing. Like going, like it's almost like this little level niche fame type of thing, like low level, like people recognize you, you know?
Right.
And like for some reason it's like amplified because they saw me on TikTok and then real life, and they're like, what the fuck? And like I've had that experience where I've seen someone like an athlete when I was younger in person. I'm like, what the fuck? That's that athlete? You know, it's like this weird feeling.
Yeah.
So like that was an interesting dynamic because it's like I underestimate how much people have seen my videos because it's like millions and millions of, you know, so like there's a chance when I'm out in public someone recognizes me and or says CPD or the Flood Bowl. It's like, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's so interesting. It's such a weird dynamic. You underestimate how much people actually like seeing you do stuff.
Yeah, like you've had videos that get millions and millions of views. I mean, like millions of people saw the video. So I mean, at the end of the day, you crunch the numbers. Like the odds of somebody recognizing you is pretty high.
Like yeah, you're just living life. Like you don't think anything of it. Like when I post a video, I don't think anything of it. Like I kind of. This may sound like pretty self-centered, but it's like I don't give a fuck what anyone else is doing. I'm just living my life, you know.
That's how you gotta be.
It's so strange to me when it happens because it's like I'm just living my life, you know.
Exactly. It's pretty crazy. I mean, so the CPD thing, I want to jump into that for a sec. First of all, I see you're eating In-N-Out. So
yeah,
you've probably done a video on this, but what's your thoughts on In-N-Out?
All right, so I moved here a week ago, almost 2. I've been to In-N-Out like 4 or 5 times. It's
really?
So good. Yeah.
The CPD is high. The CPD is high for sure. I'll give you that.
But I probably should have got the protein style, not the bun. Like the bun, probably not the best thing, but the ground beef, onion, tomato, lettuce it's good. You know, for the way I train, I need it.
Sure. I mean, it's good quality stuff, high CPD. For the people who don't know what CPD is, by the way, tell them what CPD is.
CPD is calorie per dollar. So before we were talking about how I train a lot, I actually lose money doing the decathlon right now. Why did CPD come up? Because it's like I'm training so much, burning so many calories, so I needed to like get as much calories for the least amount of money. And then like, so that always has been a term for me, since junior year of high school. So like we would just joke around CPD. And then I made a video on it and it did well. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to ride with this. And then I made one video, it did really good. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to do that because something stuck, it works, I'm going to stick with it. And then like people enjoyed it. And then I'll be honest, I don't give a fuck about CPD. So like I had to just keep posting it for the people. And then I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to make this content. Like I'm not like people think I'm the CPD guy, but it's like, I don't give a fuck, you know? So I kind of struggle with that.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine being this one dimension person, you know? And just, I guess that's what the audience wants, but I wasn't willing to continue doing that shit because it's like, I'm growing as a person and it kind of got old for me. It wasn't fun. So kind of selfish, but it is what it is.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, if you get back into that, like how to grow on social media topic, I mean, it really comes down to just whatever works, hammering it. And I think for a lot of people, it can be kind of shitty because sometimes what works isn't necessarily what you want to do. But I mean, I think the good part about it is, you know, when you do it and you get to a certain point, the more you grow, the more freedom you have to kind of veer away from it and focus on things you actually kind of want to talk about. Exactly.
And like, honestly, like, cause I was doing CPD of like shitty food, like all right. So I also started off with saying, if you train hard, you can eat whatever you want.
I remember that. That.
So then I kind of stopped doing that. And that's when the CPD came in. So like maybe another saying will come in, it'll blow up. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what sticks. But you can train hard and eat whatever you want, but and like have this physique, whatever. If you see my videos, but I'm training to perform. So like, if I wasn't like performing at like international meets and like trying to make the Olympic team, then my diet wouldn't be as important. But I did realize like my mood's not as good. I may have brain fog if I had like, let's say I had crazy amount of ice cream that night. Like that, the food definitely affects how you feel and your mood. So you can have the physique, but you'll probably won't feel like 100%. Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, I mean, with that train hard, eat whatever you want, there's definitely a lot of truth to it. But like exactly like you said, I think with regards to the physique, being active and burning a lot of calories, it's a lot less likely that you're gonna get fat, even if you eat a bunch of bullshit. But I mean, then again, that has nothing. Your health and your kind of day-to-day mental clarity and whatnot is still affected by it. So like just like you said, but I mean, then again, I mean, I think it is kind of good to emphasize activity with people because like I think a lot of people don't realize like in high school, like a lot of people play sports, they're active, they burn a bunch of calories, they're skinny. I was one of these people. Go to college and stop playing sports, start drinking alcohol, and then put on weight. And then for me, I was just like, what happened? And it took a few years to be like, oh, okay, like that, like it's pretty obvious, but like stop burning calories, started going out and partying, and then you start to realize that, and it's like, damn, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and it's a lot of the things I say, especially because we kind of started TikTok around the same time.
Yeah, I remember that.
And a lot of the things I say, you have to critically think what I'm saying because it's definitely true on one end, but then on the other end, it's not true. You know, it depends. The coin you're like the lens you're looking at. Like if I say train hard, eat whatever you want, and you're fat, then no, you can't. But if you're like fit and you're active, then yes, you can. You know, that's just an example.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about how you interpret it. But I definitely think there's a lot of truth to that. Even with the CPD thing, like, you know, I know for you, it's just kind of like just something you said. But for me, I really like that because I think in like with the entire diet culture thing, because obviously you know how like you need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, calorie surplus to gain weight. So people, I feel like have this obsession on low calorie foods and just like eating as little calories as possible without really focusing on quality. And it's almost gotten to the point of like insanity to an extent because I think some food companies have convinced people to pay more for less food. Because at the end of the day, you got to remember all a calorie is a unit of measurement. It's how much food you're being given for something. So I've literally seen cases where you can buy like a big bag of chips or you can buy like 100 calorie packs or something and you have to pay more. So it's like bullshit either way, but you're paying more for less food. And so it's like, I just like the idea of people understanding like food is fuel, like calories in and of themselves are not bad. And then on top of that, just like, I think saving money is dope. I think no matter how much money you have, not wasting money is always a good thing.
Exactly.
So I respect it.
Indirectly, a lot doing the CPD thing, it helped a lot of people. Like it was a fucking joke to me. I mean, I said the team, I would do some stupid shit. And I would get messages like, yo, you inspired me to focus on CPD. Like, I would get so many fucking DMs. Like, what's the best CPD items? Dude, you helped me bulk. You helped me cut. You helped me get into working out. You helped me with eating disorders, like all this shit. And like, so it was like all just a joke, but it was actually helped people. And like, yeah, it was funny saying like, oh, this juice was $10 at 5 calories. Like, why the fuck would I buy that? You know, like, and my mind does operate like that. Like, no, I'm going to get something with more calories for less dollars to raise the CPD in a way, you know? So like, it's definitely interesting how people definitely resonated with that. like a lot of people do. You know, like it was never a struggle with me, the dynamic between working out and eating, because it's like my mind. I guess it's all mindset. It's like I need food to fuel. Like, it's fuel. It's literally fuel for me.
And I think for a lot of people, like you said, like your delivery is one way, like how you deliver with these jokes that are funny. But like you said, it requires a little bit of critical thinking. I think people see it and they're like, okay, this is funny, but they still get something out of it because they kind of think about it for a second. Like, now that you mention it, like, why the hell am I spending money on this? Or, why am I not taking advantage of this? So, I mean, I think it's definitely
people, like, I would never buy like a protein shake that's like $5. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like, if you go to like Whole Foods, there's like protein shakes, or like at the gym, people buy like a bottle protein shake. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. It's like you could just make something at home. Like, buy your own protein shake, and the scoop per dollar is probably like $1 or less than if you were to get like a drink that, like a Muscle Milk little drink. It's like, why would you spend $5? I guess convenience.
Yeah.
When you could just like I have my powder over there. It's just like I can just boom, $1, less than that maybe. So
speaking of which, so I've always been somebody who's always about clean ingredients and just eating healthy. I'm pretty strict with my diet when it comes to just the ingredients and whatnot, and keeping it healthy and whatnot. I saw that you launched QPD, your own supplement brand.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, QPD stands for quality per dollar. So it's all about the quality of the product, the best quality stuff. And I looked at your protein powder, and it's grass-fed protein. Good.
Yeah.
What are the ingredients you use? It was pretty solid from what I saw.
It's basically like whey protein concentrate, and I can look at the ingredients right now. So basically, people are like, oh, wait, you need whey protein isolate. All whey protein isolate it's just the protein of it, but the concentrate just has like some fat in it. That's basically it. So it's actually more calories. It's actually better in my opinion. Whey protein concentrate, stevia extract, which is used for less sugar, so it's probably sweeter.
Yeah, stevia.
It only has 2 grams of protein. I mean, 22 grams of protein, 2 grams of sugar, because you don't want really a lot of sugar.
Stevia is good because it's a natural sweetener. It comes from the leaves of a stevia plant, whereas a lot of the protein powders, are using artificial sweeteners. So I love stevia in a protein powder.
Oh, I was saying stevia. Now
stevia. Most people do say stevia. So
yeah, there's cocoa powder, gum powder, which is probably like the Santa Cruz Medicinal would say, oh, that's a gut disruptor, but it's like, it's not going to do shit to you. Sea salt and silicone dioxide, which is, I'm not sure what that is, but I've read it, and it's like, it's nothing like, it's literally not going to do anything to you. Like, half the shit, it won't do anything. I should research that to know what silicone dioxide is, but I'm pretty sure it's literally nothing.
I mean, the ingredients that I'd be worried about in protein powder, that you've seen a lot of them. There's a lot of artificial flavors, artificial colors, artificial sweeteners, refined oils, which yours has none of that. So
or soy protein.
Soy protein, yeah. I know you got beef with soy. But yeah, if you're out there and you're looking for a new protein powder, definitely check out QPD. And I know you guys have, what do you guys have, like creatine and
creatine, pre-workout, collagen, and BCAAs. The creatine is my favorite right now because I'm training really hard. Creatine helps you recover so good. It's literally a cheat code. Like it for me, it could be my mindset that propels the effects of creatine. But whenever I take creatine, I literally just less sore, recover better, get so strong, and like I feel like I can do unlimited reps. Like that's just how I feel.
Yeah, I mean creatine's one of the most well known to be positive supplements in the game. So if you're looking for creatine, check out QPD for sure.
Yes, sir.
What was like the process like launching that supplement? Because obviously you got to work with manufacturers, you got to do the branding. It's like low key it's kind of a process.
It is a process. I actually got asked to do this in like January when like
You got
CBD
asked
was
to do
kind of,
this, you said?
yeah, like I'm working with a brand right now, and they like supply it, and I kind of market it and brand it.
Oh, interesting.
So they they wanted me to do it in January, but I was like, I was training a lot. I didn't really want to do it, so I didn't do it. And then like August, I was like, yeah, it's actually not a bad idea. Like, and I had some time off, so then I made it happen, and I wanted to grow bigger. It's kind of just like a side thing. It's like it's there. I'll post content. I'll promote it here and there, but it's not something. It's not something I want like right now to fucking grow. You know,
Right.
I kind of want to just train, promote this when I can, when I have time to like post a video and stuff, and then like the people who have bought it already, hopefully they like it, word of mouth, and it takes off by itself. You know, it's nothing I'm gonna like force down your throat because like sometimes when I go on live, I'll promote it or say something like, "Yo, get this," because it's like this is what I use after training, the creatine every day after training. So, yeah, I could see it being bigger, especially if I made a team. You know what I'm saying? Like, join the team, be an ambassador. I'll send you some stuff. You make videos on it. You get a commission, stuff like that. And I'm sure if I like put the hours in to like plan it all out, which I don't have right now because I'm training so much, I can get that flowing pretty fast.
I agree. I think what you're doing right now is perfect because I think when you're growing on social media, you got to kind of be strategic about when you go all in on monetization, especially with like your own product and whatnot. Because when you go too early, sometimes it can be a little bit. It can just kind of slow down your growth because people like think you're trying to sell them something and whatnot. That's one thing that me working full time has given me that luxury of not having to fiend for selling coaching programs and whatnot. So I can just kind of at my leisure work with whoever I want to work with. But yeah, man, I definitely hear you on that.
Exactly. But it's like, if you're watching this, it's like, this stuff will help you. Like, this is literally what I use as an athlete to recover. And it's like, you mix protein and a creatine in one drink during or after your workout, it won't even fill you up, but you instantly are like on the path to recovery. That's kind of how I viewed it my entire life. Because the reason I also started it is because like, when I was younger, like 15, 16, I was like obsessed with supplements because it was like, I work out, I take these, I get stronger and I get bigger. It was like, so like just the process of like making the drink, and you see it even when you go to gyms, like people love their protein drink after. It's just like this, it's like a routine that's like, it's like your morning cup of coffee. It's like something you look forward to taking.
Yeah, I mean, protein powder is so versatile too. Like I put in like sometimes I'll make like protein oats. I'll do shakes. I'll do like pancakes, different recipes with it.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I think people forget like protein is like it's whey protein. It comes from an animal. It's
literally just whole milk. They just take the protein out of milk and like make it powder. Like that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, protein is definitely. I feel like it's one of those markets where anybody who goes to the gym, or really anybody could be a customer. Even people who don't go to the gym, it gets this reputation as being like I think protein in general gets a reputation as being like a bodybuilder thing, whereas really, anybody who's trying to maintain a healthy weight should be eating a lot of protein. And one way to do that is by, eating protein powder, incorporating that into your diet.
Exactly. Someone was asking me yesterday, like, how do I lose fat? It's like, dude, just cut out the carbohydrates and sugar and just fucking eat protein. Like, and you'll be fine. And exercise a little more every day. And you may have different views on that, but that's what I think and like what works.
Yeah, I mean, basically, and you'll definitely relate to this. The way I look at it is, your carbohydrates, that's your fuel. So, I mean, people are eating all these carbohydrates and not using it. So I'll typically eat carbohydrates to fuel my workout, carbs to recover from my workout, and then the rest of the carbs will just come from like fruits and veggies. And then just super high protein, because if like you can't eat a ton of protein, and it's hard to overeat when you're eating a shit ton of protein. And obviously fat, is crucial for just bodily function and not having brain fog and whatnot. So yeah, cutting carbs, and then sugar, refined sugar. I try to stay away from processed oils, although that's a pretty controversial topic.
The oils, I got into the oils too. The seed oils are bad.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely bad. And, but there's like, you got these camps of people who are like, I don't think it's really up for debate, but, whenever you get into that, you get some pushback from a lot of people. But basically the way I look at it is seed oils are, and there's science to it too. So that your omega-6 to omega-3 ratio gets messed up because you're basically eating this insane concentration of omega-6 that you would never find in nature. But basically what's happening is we're just like, it's like a science experiment. Basically we're switching our source of fat to seed oils. I've always been highly against seed oils,
especially soybean oil. Never
anything with soy.
Everything has soybean oil in it. It's fucking crazy. Like if you go to Target, like I was in Target the other day, and like I just wanted like a protein bar or just like a snack, because I'll eat it between my workout or after my workout. And every single thing, like big brand, had soy protein isolated in it. I was like, I'm not fucking buying it. I'm not eating soy protein. Like nothing, because it's just cheap. It's like these corporations who make this shit. All right, let's just put the cheapest shit into it because people are gonna buy it. It's like, that's what pissed me off. So I didn't get anything. It's like whey protein is just like, boom, that's all you need.
Yeah, I feel like with soy protein and a lot of this like vegan stuff, there was this massive fad with veganism and Impossible Burgers. And I think Americans, the issue with Americans is they just love buzzwords. They don't actually like to do research. I'm saying they, but obviously I'm American. But like, they don't like to do research. It's just like, okay, eat vegan, that'll solve all your problems. So companies love that because it's just like they slap that Impossible meat, plant-based on there, and then people will pay sums of money for it, not knowing that it's really not any more healthy or less healthy than the natural alternative. It's crazy.
It's really sad. And like you said, people just want to be fed they just want to be told what to do almost, and like, we don't have, this goes in a huge rabbit hole of like why they don't want people eating meat and shit, but we don't got to go down that road.
Yeah, the meat thing, that's a whole nother topic for. I'm actually having Brendan on here in a couple of days, so I'm gonna I'm gonna get super into it with him on the seed oils and whatnot. But yeah, man, they put that stuff in everything. That's and I think like, it's more so not the fact, like if you go to like Chipotle uses seed oils, right? You go there and you eat seed oils like once a week. It's not going to kill you, but it's just the fact that, like you said, it's in legitimately everything. So that quantity of it is so insane.
It's like everyday dose when it could be like 1 or 2 doses, let's say Chipotle a week, not a big deal, but because everything else has it in, it accumulates. And it's like, but yeah, you probably know a lot about like digestive health, and like basically your digestive system is like second brain. And basically how you're going to feel is
your gut,
how you're treating your digestive system.
Yeah. The gut brain connection.
Yeah. And like people are their lifestyles make it impossible. Like they're probably constipated and shit, and like just, they're like, oh, hello?
Yeah.
Oh, the thing, it blacked out. My phone is at 20%. Let me check.
Yeah.
Not charging. Yeah, so, like, if you're constipated, you're going to be in brain fog, because it's like, that shit's not working, then, like, this thing's not going to fucking work. It makes sense. Like, you need, and that's where, like, people say, meat's not bad because it makes you constipated. It's like, no, meat, you digest like the quickest out of fucking anything in like the deepest level. But obviously, like, your fiber should really come from fruit. And like some vegetables, you don't want to overkill it with the greens. Like, obviously some greens are good. Like, my favorite vegetables are peppers and onions. Like, that's my go-to. I like spinach too. I don't eat much spinach though. And like, that's like the shit that's going to help you like push stuff through.
That is true.
I don't know.
I'm a big broccoli guy. Frozen broccoli, just toss it in the microwave, super easy. If I can have somebody else cooking, if I had a personal chef, I'd be eating all sorts of peppers and onions and whatnot. But I don't got time to be cutting them up, all that shit.
But yeah, people just overcomplicate shit. It's just like, fuck. Just like, eat real food, work out hard, get good sleep. Don't consume a lot of fucking chocolate and get like overdosed on sugar and ice cream. And like, moderation is fine. Have that shit like maybe once or twice a week. It doesn't have to be every fucking day. And I think the biggest component is just like working out hard. Like, people work out, but their intensity is so low that it really doesn't do anything.
I talk about that all the time because I think I see people who go to the gym every day spend probably more time than I do in the gym. But what people don't get is, like, if you're not, for building muscle, if you're not progressively overloading, you're not going to build muscle. So people will go and they'll just go through the motions. They'll do the exact same thing every time. They won't be pushing themselves. Like, let's say you go in there, you can curl 30s for 10 reps comfortably, and you're not pushing it to pick up the 35s. You're not going to build muscle. You're just going to go in there and kind of just level out.
Now, where'd you learn all this stuff? Because progressive overload is like, everyone should be on that shit.
Dude, I think that, well, first of all, I mean, where I learned, I've just learned it over the years. But what I think is, in school, in high school, there should totally be a class where they go over just the basics of like nutrition and then weightlifting. They just go over like progressive overload. Here's what calories are. Here's what carbs are, fats. Here's what calorie deficit, calorie surplus. Here are the different exercises. I think if everybody took that in high school, there'd be a lot less people out of shape. Yeah,
no, that's true. Except I took health and shit, and they talked to us about that. But they're saying like, oh, low fat diet's good. Like, don't have fat and shit. It's like, you fucks.
So it's just misinformation everywhere. So you can't really. It's tough to have a class on that stuff because there's going to be one person saying one thing, one person saying another. I know in my high school we didn't have anything about nutrition, but we had like foods class where they taught you like how to cook like cookies and shit. So that took priority over it.
Home and careers.
Yeah, that's
what it's called for me. But yeah, I trust people who are living it and like are being the example. So like, that's why I have credibility, is because like, I'm this high level athlete. You see what I'm eating and saying. It's like telling you how it is. Like, this is what I fucking do. So like, you can do it too. It's just, you're probably not trained. Like, I could right now train an hour a day and still maintain the same physique with what I'm eating. But in that hour of the gym, I'm fucking the whole 60 minutes, I'm doing something. I'm not, yes, it depends what day it is. I'll take breaks, but that break is so you can go 100%. Like, if you're doing heavy deep squats, let's say 5 sets of 5, like those 5 reps, 100% intensity, you might have to take a 3-minute break because you're charging up for the next set. And then, so like, but if I'm doing like a weight circuit, it's like boom, 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 boom. I'm getting the shit ton of work done. I'm pushing myself. And if you're not uncomfortable working out, it's like what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, it's basically
you're going through the motions.
Good as nothing. Yeah, going through the motions. That actually brings up, I have one technical question I want to ask you. So you're an athlete. You obviously train like an athlete. I'm not an athlete. I'm 26 years old. I train mainly for, health, because I like training, and for aesthetics, kind of like what I think most people around my age are training for. So I follow more of like a bodybuilding split.
Yeah.
But I do see a lot of people at the gym who are my age who definitely aren't professional athletes doing like athletic type workouts. And sometimes I wonder, is there a point at all to doing athletic workouts if you're not playing sports competitively? So I guess if you weren't a professional athlete, would you still work out like an athlete? And what benefits do you think it provides to like the average person?
That's very good. I think everyone should train like an athlete because like athlete is just adapting to movement. Like uh, bodybuilding, you're lifting these certain patterns that are like just to, like you said, aesthetics. It's not really functional. So like, if you actually, you said you want to maintain a healthier lifestyle. If you train like an athlete, you're going to be more well balanced. Like it can, because I've noticed a trend too. Like some people are training like athletes at the gym. You know, like they're doing the fucking shoulder mobility stuff with the bands
Right.
and like hip stretches and glute stretches and stuff like that. Mobility work is huge because you're the biggest cause of injury when you're older is stiffness. It's like a lack of movement. Your muscles get weak because you're not moving them. So like a lot of the mobility work to warm up will benefit you because it will reduce injuries and it creates strength in certain patterns that you don't get from like benching, you know, or, but if you, and obviously running and doing that stuff works your cardio and strengthens your muscles in different ways. It's you're gonna have a higher metabolic rate, so you're probably gonna be more lean than if you're gonna just lift. It all comes down to what your goals are and what you want out of fitness and exercise. But if you train like an athlete, you're gonna be well rounded in everything. So if you want to be well rounded in everything, you have the time to do it. You could do it in 2 hours. You just have to do things you don't want to do. Like even I don't want to do my warm ups are like almost an hour long. It's like some days
Wow.
I don't want to do that shit. Like yes, it's a warm up, but I'm also like it's moving in all different ways on my hips, my hamstrings. I'm basically activating every muscle in my body. And yes, that's not like gaining strength, but you're moving and activating the muscle, so it reduces injury and it doesn't. Basically, that's the biggest thing. It just reduces injury or anything bad happening.
So the main takeaway, so probably the main benefit for the average person of training like an athlete would be
Yeah,
reducing injury when you're older.
exactly. And probably being more lean than usual. Like you'll cut up because your metabolic rate's higher, and you actually will probably lift better because you're more warmed up and your muscles are hitting better positions. Like they're
Interesting.
activated. Like if I were to do squat, the best you could do is probably sprint before squatting because you're stimulating your central nervous system to be quick and powerful. So when you go squat, you can move that shit fast. You're recruiting more muscle. When you're just like, because your body's lazy, it conserves energy. So if you do 5 sets of 5, it will find a way to use the least amount of recruitment of muscle to get that 5 by 5. But if you do this extensive warm up where you're activating everything, you could just in your central nervous system's firing, you can recruit more muscle and move shit faster. You're just more, it's more, it's just more active, you know, it's less passive. It's like you move quicker.
I hear, man. Definitely, it's definitely all interesting stuff. You should post some. Do you post athletic workouts and kind of what you do in the gym?
I posted one yesterday. That's all new shit for me. Like I'm doing a lot more functional stuff right now because I'm in a new training group and like the way they train. I'm used to like uh, Monday, Friday, fucking bench, squat. Well, first power clean, then bench, squat, RDLs type stuff. So that's like a huge load on your body. And that's the thing. People separate their days to like chest day, next day's back day, arm day. That doesn't make sense to me because it's like you can do 2 giant days, like let's say Monday, Friday, and hit everything. And you're
Full
getting more
body.
for your buck in one day, you know, than just working on your arms. Like you got this whole body and you're just gonna work on your arms. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
To me, I mean, so it takes your muscles 48 to 72 hours, 2 to 3 days to recover from a workout. So if you're doing that like bro split where you're doing arms, chest, back, then you're putting like 7 days in between workouts. So you're training let's say you train your back on Monday, you don't train it till next Monday, then you're kind of leaving gains on the table because you could be training them twice a week if you're doing multiple muscle groups within one workout.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, I hope most of your audience is younger kids because like it's better to learn earlier than late. And it almost it's like they have to go through the mistakes to truly learn. You know,
Right.
Like why can't you squat and bench on the same day? What is stopping you from doing that? You know, so that's just how I think of it. It's like you might as well because you could do that Monday and Friday instead of bench once a week on Monday, or you could do Olympic bar bench on Monday and then dumbbell bench on Friday and switch it up. That it's just like it's and yes, you progressive overload. Do you do like 3 week on, 1 week deload?
No. So I'll train. I follow a 6-day split. I do push pull legs. So I'll train push muscles, which is chest, shoulders, triceps. Then I'll do pull, which is back, by, rear delts, traps, and I'll do legs. Then I'll rest, and I'll just keep that cycle going for the most part.
So 6-day split, is that so you do 3 days a week or 6 days a week?
So it's kind of like just an ongoing, like, you know, in high school where you have like a 6-day schedule.
Yeah.
Like it's like a rotation. So it doesn't really matter the day of the week. So I just do push, pull legs, rest, push, pull legs, and like whatever day it falls on, it just kind of keeps going.
Oh, okay.
It's funny. It's funny, dude, because I posted that split and it was like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, all the way through day 8. And I got so many comments of people like, yo, bro just invented day 8. There's only 7 days in a week. And I was like, dude, why does nobody understand this? I guess it's not as clear as I thought it was.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I'm not, like, even the word split, people ask what's your split. I'm not like gym knowledgeable in that way. I didn't know what the fuck a split was. I just call it a workout program.
Yeah.
But I guess a split is like what you do in a week.
Just like however you divide up your training.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So like the way my progressive overload is this. It's like 3 weeks. And each week you do the same shit. So like Monday, you're going to do that. Tuesday, you're going to do that. Wednesday, you know what you're going to do on each day. You do that for 3 weeks straight. And then probably by the end of week 3, you're like, fuck, I'm fucking, and yes, you're progressive overloading, but the end of week 3, you're like, your body's like, I've had enough. Like you almost reached the end. And then it's a deload week, your 4th week, where you reduce volume a shit ton. You still kind of do the workouts, but you just reduce volume a lot. And that's basically, think about the macro of it. It's like 3 weeks hard, 1 week to kind of just still kind of do it, but not really. It's like, let your body rest, your mind rest. And then the next 3 week cycle, like week 1, you're better. Like you straight up just worked hard 3 weeks. You recovered for a week. That next 3 week cycle, you should be improved upon from the 3rd week, from the previous cycle. And it just goes up and up and up and up and up and up. So like people who want to like max, if they want to get stronger in their bench and squat, I guarantee if you do a 3 week load, 1 week deload, where you can even test the week of the deload. So that's a month. You can gain 50 pounds in your squat per bench. Easy if you do that. So that's just how I do it.
Interesting. I'll have to look into that. It's definitely interesting getting an athlete's perspective, because it sounds like, because you're kind of, the way you've looked at working out is a little bit different from, you know, my background and how I've seen it. So it's interesting to hear your different perspective on it and what's worked for you.
Like Monday. All right. So let's say you do Monday, Friday, you bench and squat. You do that for 3 weeks. By the end of the 3rd week, you're going to and you're progressing, you're going to be strong as shit the last Friday of the third week. Then deload, you can almost test your max. So let's say I bench 245. Then the next cycle, you base your lifts off the percentage of 245. So let's say now it's like do 90% of 245 3 times. Let's say 6 sets of 3. And because the only way to get your max up higher, and if that's your goal, is you have to go near your max and like rep that. And obviously it's lower reps, higher sets. So like 6 sets of 3. You only get 18 reps total, but each one is close to your max, and that's how you get near. That's how you push past your max. Is you have to go near your max basically. If you're doing 4 sets of 10 and it's at like some fucking 70% of your max, like how are you going to get past your max if you're going at 70% of your max? It doesn't make any sense. Like, yes, you might build muscle, but like I said, you're not recruiting the muscle fibers you want. Your muscles are going to get lazy doing 4 sets of 10.
I like to stick to I usually stick to 6 to 10 reps depending on the exercise, but I know a lot of people try to do stuff like they try to do like high reps thinking that that's going to help them like shred fat and get lean. Whereas really it's just kind of going to waste your time because you're just kind of taking longer to activate your muscles. I know it can help for an athlete probably for muscle endurance. But if you're trying to build strength, build muscle, then staying within that, 6 to 10, 6 to 12 rep range is usually solid.
Yeah. 6 is good. 8's good. Anything over like 10 and 12. Yeah. I've noticed the people who do hypertrophy like that, like 4 sets of 12 and everything,
it's not a good way to think about it.
They're not cut. They're like flabby almost. Like that's just muscle, but it's like flabby. And whether that's like their lifestyle out of the gym or that's just the result of doing that. I don't know. It's just what I just know if you move weight faster and you recruit it, you're going to be more fit looking.
I think when you do like 4 sets of 12, sometimes what that can do to your intensity is you're thinking like, all right, you pull the weight down and you're like, all right, I'm going to do 12 reps. So sometimes people lose intensity because they might not actually be like close to failure once they reach that 12th rep. And then they just stop because they programmed it like that, 4 sets of 12. Whereas I'm usually thinking like, all right, I'm going to train until, I usually have it within the right range, but sometimes I'll get to like my 10th rep and I'll be like, all right, I got to up the weight.
Yeah. It should be till probably failure. Like let's say I do 6 sets of 6 on dumbbell incline bench. By the 6th set or the 5th set, number 6 should be like, you can't even get it up. It's almost like failed. But you're still moving the weight fast. It's just, you'll get to a point where it's like, fuck, I can't even move it.
Yeah, I think what I usually do is I'll train close to failure on my first 3 sets, and typically on my last set, depending on what day it is and what exercise I'm doing, that's when I'll typically go all the way to failure. Sometimes I might even put in a drop set to get even closer to failure. But if you're not training close to failure, you're not going to make results. And then incorporating actual training to failure, that's what's going to really push you over the edge and get you the results you're looking for.
For hypertrophy.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So like an athlete like me, I can't train for hypertrophy because that mass every like couple pounds affects my running and the impact on my joints and shit. It's like, that's the thing. If I was like, let's say training for the NFL, I would say, fuck it. I'm just going to lift a shit ton of weight, max out, like do sets of 10 to 12, fucking till failure, like 5 days a week, eat a shit ton of food, gain to like 235, 5 pounds rock muscle. But it's like, I can't do that because I'm a track athlete. So that's actually something I might explore when I'm done with a decathlon. It's just like, how big can I get in fucking jacked? I don't know. It'd be fun.
Yeah, it's definitely true. Like sometimes I wonder, like you see dudes in the NFL, dudes in the NBA, or more so the NBA, who are like have really good genetics. Like guys like LeBron, if he wasn't an athlete, I think he could be like massive if he wasn't.
Yeah.
Because he's huge considering the fact that he's in the NBA and like has a very calculated physique. He's just enormous, and there's a lot of people like that. But
Like
sometimes
Shaq.
I wonder.
Like Shaq is huge.
Yeah. Some of those running backs, I mean, because to be in the NFL, I mean, they're huge, but like they still need to be like probably lower body fat than they would if they were just trying to get as big as possible. So it's something that's definitely crossed my mind. Like these guys would be huge if they were just focused on getting as big as possible.
Yeah, and eat a lot of fucking food. I enjoy eating, so that's why I train so hard. It's because it's like, well, I can eat and not have to worry about, like, if I know, like, let's say a holiday's coming and we're gonna eat a lot, I'm going hard that week because I know, like, food tastes better. It's a better dynamic when you like, and people shit on me for this if it's like a reward. It's like I think it should be a reward. I mean, like, for me, food's not enjoyable because let's say it's off season, I'm not working out, I'm just chilling. I don't really need the food. Like, I'm fine. I'm going to survive. I have energy. But when you work hard and now you actually need the food, or you get sick, or you'll like get worse, it's more enjoyable because you earned it. You see?
I couldn't agree more, because I see so many people saying like that's a eating disorder. I don't even know if I can say that word I know TikTok censors the hell out of that. But like people say that like when treating food like a reward for exercising is like a bad relationship with food. I completely disagree. Like I think when I go for like a 10-mile run or something like that, and I come back and I just have a massive feast, there's like no better feeling. Like I'm not going to sit here, like work all day, come off the couch and go in there and have a massive, like it's not the same. You know what I'm saying?
It's not the same. No.
Like it's like you just kind of feel like a fat ass. But when you work and you earn it, like that feels good. Especially like you were saying, like if it's big holiday or I got like a big, I don't know, anything where I'm going to be eating a lot of food. I always train hard in advance. Like I might hit a fat leg day or I might go for a run, but there's nothing quite like that just post epic workout feast.
Yeah. And that's why I don't understand why people don't work out. It's just like, there's no downside to working out or like exercise. There's zero downside. It's only an upside.
I think what a lot of people don't realize, and like this was me at one point in my life, like people don't realize that like working out is fun, because a lot of people think like going to the gym, it's like a chore, it's a task, running, it's a task. Because I guess we have this culture of like, you know, it's painful to go to the gym. But I think what people don't realize is once you get in the swing of it, like they see people who are so passionate about it. Like for me, a lot of people will be like, oh, I work out in the morning to get it over with. I legit work out at night because it gives me something to look forward to all day. Because I genuinely just love going to the gym. Like it's like the highlight of my day. If I'm having a bad day, I don't, like some people are like, oh, I'm having a bad day, I'm going to skip the gym. If I'm having a bad day, I'm going to the gym because I know that when I leave the gym, I'm going to be a completely different person. That bad day, whatever happened, I forgot about it by the time I'm out of the gym.
Exactly. That's a great mindset. Yeah. It's a win-win actually, because it's like, I like to do it in the morning because it's like you get out of the way and then you get the whole day to like not chill, but like it's you're not looking forward to the gym as in like it's just reverse. It's like now.
Don't get me wrong. I do love morning workouts.
Yeah. But then at night it's also amazing because it's like if it's the highlight of your day, you're looking forward to it and you can't wait to fucking be there. You know, like exactly. I remember in school, all I cared about was like practice, and we would lift obviously, and we would run and lift. So it's fucking 9 a.m. I'm like, I can't wait till 2:45 when we have practice because that's all I want to do. And plus, I think pre-workout or like caffeine is a reward system in itself, and you look forward to doing that because it's like basically a drug. Do you take caffeine or pre-workout?
I don't take pre-workout. I drink a lot of coffee, but I see what you're saying because when I first started going to the gym, I kind of used that as like something like, all right, I'm going to go to the gym, but like I get to have my pre-workout. So like it got me hyped. Like I get to do a little drug.
Dude, when I was 15, 16, there was a supplement called No Explode. and it was
No
fucking
explain.
like it was like crack. I didn't realize till I got older. Of like I was like doing that shit at 15. Basically, I was basically high on drugs going to the gym, like
It was
straight
one.
up. It was
Was it one of those kind of sketchy under the table? You don't know what's in
oh,
it.
it's a BSN. I think BSN's pretty reputable,
Oh,
but it
really?
just had like probably 200, 300 milligrams of caffeine as a 15
Damn.
year old. So you're like basically doped up, like it's such a good mood or like super hyped, and like you're already motivated when you're 15, 16. So it was just like it, and obviously caffeine's addictive. So if you
Yeah.
match that with working out, you're obviously going to look forward to it. So, but some people go to the gym because of that feeling with the caffeine. It's like, so be it. Whatever gets you there.
Exactly. Like whatever gets. I mean, that was me. Like when I first started going, that was kind of what got me over the hump. But I mean, if you need to take pre-workout to go to the gym, I personally don't do it. But I think
Yeah. And
that
well, then you'll learn you don't need it, you know?
that's exactly what happened to me. I kind of did more research and I was like, shit. Like it's really just the active ingredients. Caffeine's what's giving me this height. So I already drink coffee. Plus, I go to the gym
Yeah.
at night. So like after at like 6 p.m. on the weekdays at least, like I'm not gonna drink pre-workout and then I'd probably be up all night. But yeah, I mean, for everybody, there's different things that gets them in the gym. Whatever that might be. Maybe maybe there's some girl there you have a crush on that gets you motivated. Maybe it's everybody's got their thing.
100%. Yeah. No, yeah. I would say, because we're on the topic of the gym and just like what it means to me, it's like the gym what is the reason I am today. Like it meant the way I'm so mentally strong and just like confident, it's because of the work I put in the gym. Like straight up. Like especially when you're younger, because it's like you're dealing with so much shit and stresses and like opinions of others, you're comparing yourself. And it's like or you can just go to the gym alone, get hyped up on music and just like push yourself and like get ahead of your peers and stuff physically. Because like you don't think of this, but like what you look physically is a representation of like almost who you are.
100%, 100%.
Like like when I look at someone, I go, okay, I can kind of get where your mind's at now because of your physical appearance. Like I know that's
People,
kind of fucked up, but it's kind of true.
it's a fact. People won't say this or anything like that, but I mean, it's kind of something that you realize. Like me being in the corporate world for 4 years, being good, like being in shape or being good looking, having muscle, I believe will give you a huge leg up because as soon as you like, if I'm interviewing for a job, if somebody's interviewing for a job and they're in shape, it gives this first impression of like, okay, this guy's, takes care of himself. He's
Yeah,
responsible. Whereas if you're out of shape, you could still be a brilliant candidate and, you could be completely successful. I know plenty of people who
yeah,
aren't in shape who have been successful, but you do definitely have an advantage. Like I know plenty of people who probably wouldn't be where they are if they weren't so presentable. Because I mean, in client-facing jobs especially, but I mean,
yeah,
in just all aspects of life too.
yeah. That's 100% true, and it kind of is odd nowadays with the resources we have in America that if you're fit, you stand out. Like that should be the
Crazy.
norm. In
Yeah.
my head, that should be the norm, but it's not. It's so wild.
I mean, this country, I want to say like 72% is overweight or obese, which is nuts.
72.
I think it's 72 is like on the chart, overweight or obese.
Wow.
And another thing people don't get is like people are just like, oh, like we got a problem, but it's like nah, it's a problem, because I think there's like 200 something countries. We are excluding outliers. We're the second most obese country in the world. So like, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like we're in the top 99.9%. Um, but I mean that just comes back to people not bad education and then no
It probably
governmental
leaks down to
regulation.
education, like straight up education. Because I mean, if you were required in school growing up, like having to, like, you were mandated to do sports at least, it wouldn't be like this. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know everyone who's done sports, like even in corporate world, is probably ahead of the game, because if you're an athlete, like, you already know what it takes to be above the rest. Like, it really is just like your mindset.
It builds character. Like you were saying just now, and how like the gym and how it's made you who you are. The concepts that make you successful in the gym apply to all other aspects of life. Like being in the gym, you got to be consistent, right?
Yeah.
And with anything else, you need to be consistent. With social media, you need to be consistent. With, showing up to work, you need to be consistent. Likewise, in the gym, you need to train with intensity. Whatever, if you show up to your work, you need to work with intensity. So it's the same, that those general basic principles that you learn from whether going to the gym or playing on a sports team can be applied to all other aspects of your life.
Exactly. And that's kind of how I'm using the decathlon. It's like, I know my career as a track athlete is, probably has less than 10 years left, but then I have my whole life ahead of me. And like the lessons and the values I learned through training, I can apply in every area of my life when it's all said and done. Like, that's who I am. And that's who I'm going to represent, is just like what I've learned through like mentally and physically pushing myself. And like shit that doesn't matter, that people get upset about, you don't give a fuck, because it's like, people, when you're like on the path of being the best version of yourself, like petty shit, you don't put energy towards, and it's because it doesn't matter. Like anyone who participates in like drama or like shit talking, it's like, when you're on your purpose and being the best version of yourself, you don't entertain that stuff. And I guess I'm going down a whole different lane of like self-development, but working out is like the number one self-development thing you can do.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think most people who struggle, most people who are depressed, or, just, they're struggling in life, it's because I think they don't have that thing. They don't have that purpose. And I think for most people, the easiest way to have that purpose is just by working out. And then so what you see, like, because it's twofold, right? So you go in the gym and you're working on yourself, you're getting better. And then also what you look in the mirror, you're improving on your physique. And that's the thing, like every single workout, every single time you go in there, you're a little bit better than you were before. So even if you haven't reached your goal, you can say like, I'm better than I was last week, which is a good feeling.
Yeah. I would say the number one thing you could do if you don't have a purpose is just work out. Just like start pushing yourself, and like you said, it's gonna be hard at first, but then you like start to enjoy it because you see the results, and it's also just like, it's a cleaner dopamine hit reward system. Like, why would you drink alcohol and smoke when you can just like lift heavy shit? And like, that's how I kind of look at it. It's a sustainable happiness and like fulfillment.
I think a lot of people who do have problems with drinking or drugs, when they quit, that's the first thing they do is they start working out. And I watch a lot of like documentaries about that stuff, and I feel like people who are successful are the people who turn to working out, because that's something that does give you a dopamine hit, like you said, but it's also bettering yourself. So it's like a win-win. So it's like what I was thinking, and this is a completely shift gears, but you look at something like video games, right? Like they're fun, right? And like the whole concept in video games is about leveling up. So like you do stuff, you get accolades, and you level up in the video game. But as soon as you turn off that console and you walk out of the room, you have nothing to show for it. So why the hell would you not do the same thing? You can do the same exact thing in real life, and you get to carry around your rewards with you everywhere you go. So you go to the gym, it's a game, it's fun, but you're putting on muscle. And now when you go down the street to get groceries, when you go out to the club, whatever it might be, you're carrying around those trophies with you. So you actually have something to show for it.
Yeah, it makes you more confident, higher self-esteem. And it's like I said, I just don't get people who don't do it. It's like, what the fuck? What are you doing? If you're watching this and you don't know when to start, like fucking go outside your door and go on a 2 hour fucking walk. Like, fuck it. Start there. Just go extreme if you haven't started yet. Because once you learn, and then obviously you might take it too far, and then you know how to back off. And if you want to do anything, you got to go extreme first, and then you jump off the bridge, and that's how you learn.
You got to go in the deep end. You just got to kind of rip it. It's like
Yeah.
you got to step out of your comfort zone. It's like sometimes because you'll never start if you don't at least try. So you just got to kind of sign yourself up for it. Like, I don't know, maybe say like, fuck it, I'm going to run in this 10K, and like you never ran. Now you got to do it. So.
Well, it's like, do you know David Goggins and like his story?
Yeah, yeah.
He basically like ran a 24-hour race with like no running experience. And
that's
like
crazy.
And he like basically passed out and died and was peeing blood. Like he didn't die, but you get what I'm saying. And it kind of just showed how like deep the human spirit is and like how far you can push yourself. And you can gain inspiration from it because you can be like, if that dude just ran 24 hours straight with no training, he's like 240 pounds, then like I can do anything. And plus, most of the pain that you go through with working out is temporary. Like today, I did 300, 320 repeats, 2 of them on the track. Fucking lactic, all of my legs just like, cramping up. Like, can't even walk. I'm like, I'm not screaming, but I'm grunting to like forget about the pain and like push it out. And then like 20 minutes later, I felt good. Like right now, I feel good. So it's like, it's just a lot of the shit's temporary. It's like, just go through it. And on the other side, it's greatness.
And what you mentioned about Goggins, like when you see somebody do something like that, it's like, what excuse do you have? Like I had somebody, I've had people reach out to me like, yo, like I want to get in shape, but like I work a job and I go shopping and like I just don't have time. And it's like, dude, like there really is like there are people who are so busy who can still work. Because if you think about it, you only have so many hours in a day. If you work out, you'll probably be more efficient during your other hours. So you can't really 100%. Use the time. Can't really use the time argument because if you have, let's say you're up for 16 hours, if you don't work out, you're gonna probably be less efficient than if you just took that 1 hour. Now you got 15 hours of more efficient work.
Yeah. Well, all right. So this example of a video idea I haven't done. It's like, do this for 8% of your day and it will change your entire life. And it's like, just working out or going for a walk. Because 8% of your day is 2 hours, Right. That seems small, 8%, but like that 8% can completely change the other 92% of your life. Like, just think of that. Just think of that number. It's like, really? Like, yeah, that's fucking true. 8% of physical activity can completely change your entire life if you do it every couple of days or a day.
That's the perfect way to look at it because a lot of people act like it's like working out. It's this like massive commitment. Like I'm going to be spending 95% of my time in the gym when in reality you have 92% of your time, if not more, to not be working out. It's literally 8% of your day, which is crazy to quantify like that.
Yeah. And back to the Goggins thing, it's like I have thought about like where do I want to turn my brand to, and I kind of want to do motivational shit because it's like,
hey, you're crushing it on here.
You have a full-time job in social media, so it's like you're always motivated, but it's like, and I'm always motivated because of what I do. It's like, so that stuff's in us, and it's like if we just express that shit to the audience or whatever, people would probably like it a lot. Because it's like we're doing it, and we should almost like share it.
That's a fact.
Because like not every day I want to do shit, but I do it anyway. So it's like there's not that one special person that they go through life like wanting to do everything they do. Like that's just not people who are successful and where they're at in life just do it anyway, whether they feel like it or not. Like some days I don't feel like working out. Like tomorrow, there's this workout we're doing. I don't want to fucking do it, but I'm going to wake up and do it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things I definitely don't want to do, but I mean, it's like I said, it all comes down to consistency. So it's like you can use motivation to like get you started, but then you have to have that motivation to stay consistent, which I really think comes down to passion. So like you have to genuinely care about what you're doing, because that will drive you to continue even when you don't want to.
Yeah.
When you know what the end goal
and it's
is.
knowing what you want. Like, you need to have an end. So you need to have an end and work backwards. Luckily for me, mine's to make the Olympic team. So it's kind of easier for me to like work backwards because I know the date of the trials. I know the date of the Olympics. And it's like, and I'm almost like put the hook on that goal up there and I'm like shooting up because I have to do these things every day to eventually get to that one point. So I do wonder sometimes, like, man, if I wasn't an athlete, how would I stay motivated? Because I'm not competing. So that is one thing I thought of, was like, fuck.
If you didn't have that, if you hadn't found your kind of your thing.
Yeah. And it might just be setting an example, a good example for others, like when I'm not an athlete, because people will probably be like, I think winning is just being who you are and you like motivate someone to do something like that to better themselves. Like that's winning to me. So I guess when I'm done as an athlete and I'm in some random gym and some guys see me do it, they don't know who I am, and it's like that might, or a kid or whatever, or my kids, they see me work around in the gym, that when I have kids, that's who they're going to become, so I guess I'm just thinking out loud.
I mean, because you hear a lot of the time about people who play college sports and then they go on and they stop playing and they kind of have like this identity crisis. Luckily for you, I mean, it's just sick. You got to keep doing what you're doing. Now you're what, 20, you're like my age, like 27. Oh, wow.
I'm the only kid from my high school. This is actually big, the way I thought about this. So everyone, I have a theory that, it's not a theory, it's probably a fact. Everyone who I played sports with, they probably dreamed of going to the NFL or doing sports their whole life. Like if you're an athlete when you're younger, you probably envision
at some
that.
point. Yeah.
And it's like, I'm the only one from my high school whose dream never died. I kept going because I said, fuck it, this is what I want to do. I was almost like stubborn. I was like, this is the path I want to take. I'm doing it anyway. No one else is doing it. So I don't know, that's how I kind of look at it. But at the same time, I don't judge anyone for it because it's like everyone has their own path in life.
Right. When you were a kid, it was always decathlete. That was always your.
No, I didn't know. I liked football, and I did track because of football. But then when I did track, I was like, I fucking like track. So then that's what I wanted to do when and I didn't learn the decathlon until my freshman year of college. So, but I just liked track, and then that's what ended up happening.
Damn, that's pretty crazy. But it's crazy that you're actually out here like still competing at age 27. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are, because I mean, obviously most people's careers end at 18, and then they're lucky if it goes through college. So being able to play professionally is pretty dope.
Well, I think because, like I said, it always comes down to what you want. I think this is, I guess, as I got to each level, I knew what the next level was, and I knew what I wanted. Some people aren't educated on what's the next level, so they never strive for it because they don't even know it exists.
Right?
Or they don't think it's possible. I never set limits, so I never so many people limit themselves from being who they truly are. Also, they don't think it's possible, And it's like, that's a sad mindset, and it's a limiting belief. And a lot of people believe these false beliefs, you know, like we could have a belief that we can be one of the top fitness people on TikTok. Who the fuck knows? We could do it. We probably could on this earth. I mean, fuck it. Why not? There's a way to do it. But if we don't,
you have to believe it.
You have to take the proper action to do it, you know?
Well, I mean, because I feel like because people box themselves in, because if you don't believe something, it'll never happen. So exactly. Like, if I didn't like somewhere in my mind believe that I could like lose weight, then it's not. And I think that's for a lot of people. They just don't think it's possible. They don't see themselves as a skinny person. So they can't physically go through the process of putting in the work because they don't envision it actually happening. They can't come to terms with that. So I think if they could just make that change, then that would change the entire trajectory of it.
Yeah, and it's your identity. So if you want someone to, if you're trying to lose weight and you like identify as like, I'm fucking losing weight, like that's my identity. I'm 220. I want to be 200. You identify as someone 200. That belief system and those thoughts are going to like almost be ingrained in you, and then you're going to take that action because like that's who you are, and that's going to drive you to do it. It's going to cause less thinking because it's like who you are.
Yeah, you see all the entrepreneurs and whatnot, kind of like those gurus on TikTok and whatnot, talking about like manifestation and stuff. But I think it's definitely a real thing.
Oh, manifestation is 100%. I think. Well, I believe that you almost create your reality.
100%.
We can go deep here, but it's like you almost, and this may sound crazy, but I think the way I look in my physique is the way I look because my subconscious isn't blocking or have these limits and barriers saying I'm not good enough, you suck, you can't do that, you can't do this. Like, for example, someone, like I don't get sunburned. This is going to sound fucking crazy because I'm not scared of the sun. I know people who put sunscreen on, they freak out about it. I'm going to get sunburned. And then they get burnt to shit. But in my almost subconscious deeply, I go, the sun, I'm not going to get sunburned. I'm going to be fine, whatever. And I don't get sunburned. I kind of just get tan. Like everyone in my family is super white and they always have the story of themselves. Oh, I burn easy. Well, their mind, the mind is the body, is like, you're going to get what you're thinking of, you know? So like, or my skin, for example, I have good skin. I don't do any skincare. I don't put any products in because deep down, my subconscious believes like I'm healthy, I have good skin, and it happens. And I may not be verbalizing this as good as I can, but it's basically, you are what you think. Like I think deep down, subconsciously.
Yeah, man. To some extent, when you envisioning yourself as having good skin, probably subconsciously, you might not even know it, but you're doing things that improve
on a cellular level. On a cellular level, my subconscious is making my body do these certain things. Or like, if you were to sit and meditate on, like, let's say you feel a cold coming, and like you just sit and meditate on like
you just think it
healing. You can heal yourself like straight up. Like I know that sounds so crazy, but you got to try it out.
I mean, are you into meditation?
Yeah, meditation's really good.
Meditation's something that's like for the new year, that's something I want to get into because I feel like there's nobody who does meditation who says like it's bullshit, doesn't help.
Yeah.
Everybody does it is, crazy about it.
Well, I'll get into meditation real quick. So meditation is it's just about being still and like being in the present moment. And basically in the presence, because there's only one moment, which is right now, you're present. So you're not thinking future, past, you're right here. And you can just like talk and flow and just you can just live easy and light And like, flow state, like you can get a flow state.
Yeah.
So as an athlete, flow state's important. It's basically just like your thoughts, words, and actions are aligned, and like you're just so in the moment. You're not thinking about anything. And like if you meditate, you can get to that state easy. Meaning like I could be, let's say I'm ordering food at a store, and I could just go, and then you can be present. So you're not thinking about this, and like meditation just trains you to be present, and that will help your workouts, your social relationships, the way you talk to people, any focus. Skill really involving people, because you're present to them, and it reduces stress, anxiety, it'll help you sleep. Taking time to be still is very important. And like you can almost premeditate things, like visualization. Like tonight, I can easily sit there, be still, and premeditate my day tomorrow and what I'm going to do. So then when I do go tomorrow, it's like less thinking, more just doing.
Interesting. That's, yeah, man. I feel like with me, like, focus has always been something, just like I've always been kind of like that ADD type. So like I feel like meditation, if I really got into that would help me with being able to kind of like tune out the distractions I have in my head and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it helps you definitely be less distracted and just focus one thing at a time type of stuff. I've never been you said ADHD?
ADD, ADHD, whatever.
ADD. Have you taken Adderall before?
So I have pretty strong thoughts on the entire ADD. I really don't think that ADD is a real thing. I think it's just kind of like an archetype. I think that it's more just like, cause you know how like if you like in a video game, right, you create a character and like you can like, let's say you're playing like NBA 2K, and I was just making fun of video games, but like certain players, like you can make their 3-point shot really good, but at that expense, their dribbling's gonna suck. Yeah. So I think like with a lot of people, like it's just an archetype. Like you kind of struggle with paying attention, but like you're more creative, and just people are different. I don't think it's like a disorder that needs to be treated with amphetamines.
I agree.
So that's like a whole rabbit hole. But yeah, it's kind of how I feel about that.
Yeah, I think the same thing. A lot of like the medication stuff is not necessary for anyone. Like there's so much more holistic methods to like cure a lot of shit.
Yeah, and I think it all comes back to your diet, really. Diet and exercise.
Literally, like that's the foundation of your life.
Like I think that before they suggest anything, because I mean, like a high school student who has ADD, I think the first thing that would come to my mind, because also back in high school, just the way shit was set up, sports after school, early bus, like I think I'd get like 5 hours of sleep a night. So if I were talking to a kid, my first question would be, how much sleep are you getting? What are you eating? And then if they said they're getting 5 hours of sleep a night, I would immediately be like, okay, try getting 8 hours of sleep. Instead of just defaulting to a pill, Yeah,
it could come down to how much sleep you're getting. Are you hydrating? Are you eating good? And do you exercise an hour a day? And if
I would say 99% of high school kids probably don't check all those boxes. There's probably 1% of kids. It's crazy.
Which is fucking crazy. And I guess everything's like a mindset hack in how you operate the world. So I realized early on, like, if I don't drink water, I feel like shit. I don't want to feel like shit. So I'm going to drink more water. It's like, I've realized when I don't sleep enough, I feel like shit. The main goal of life is to feel good all the time. Like, you may at least try to maximize that. So then it's like, well, I'm going to do everything I can to feel good. Like, you should really never get sick. Like, getting sick, you shouldn't. Like, if you're taking care of yourself, you're getting good vitamins in, good diet, good sleep, no alcohol, you should never really get sick. and like that should be normal. And I don't like getting sick, so I do everything I can to not get sick. But Americans don't do that shit. I don't get it. They like to feel like ass. I just don't get it.
I mean, I think a lot of people just, once again, it just comes back to people don't know. It's like, I wish, and I think that's what's one of the good things about TikTok and having people out here talking about it, because people don't know, like, if you like eating like shit all the time, not working out is like, because people think like, I hear this all the time. It's like, yo, have the cookie or whatever it is. It'll make you happy. And like, sure, like whatever, cookies taste good, but like in the grand scheme of things, like it's not going to make you happy overall, like consistently eating food like that. Like they call it comfort food, but like really like junk food, like studies have shown, like it makes you stressed, it increases your cortisol levels, and like ultimately leads to depression. Whereas just like hydrating, sleeping well, putting the right things in your body will like make you happy. And it's really just that simple. And it just comes down to like eat real food, get good sleep, work out, hydrate, basic things.
Now, I completely agree. Do you think it's really just that people are uneducated about, because it's so simple to us. It just like, it just blows my mind. People don't know that. Or do they know that and they just choose not to do it?
I think, because here's the thing, if they knew it, they would do it, right? So like if they actually knew that they might know it like on a knowledge level, like they might know like, okay, eating healthy, I'll feel better. But I don't think they know to the extent to which it'll solve their problem. So I think people who don't work out probably don't fully understand how they'll feel if they started working out for 3 months, started eating healthy for 3 months. And I think it's impossible to really tell people that, because it's something you have to kind of see to believe, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it comes down to a little bit of both. I mean, people not knowing, but then there are people who just don't take action.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't take action out of fear too. Like,
true. There's a lot of things a lot of different reasons that people are fearful too.
Yeah, which is, I feel like I am who I am and how can I express myself, because when I was younger, I was very shy and fearful of like what people think about me. Like, it's the stupidest shit. And it's almost like once I realized like it's no one's business what they think about me, or like who gives a fuck. Like everyone's almost concerned about themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if everyone's concerned about themselves, then like I'm truly free, because it's like they're concerned about themselves. Like if you go to like a social gathering, all they care about is themselves. So it's like you almost can like have that freedom. Because I know a lot of people on my following have like social anxiety. It's like, dude, no one gives a fuck. Like it really. And once I discovered that, it's like that's huge confidence, because it's like in the grand scheme of things, no one's gonna even remember if you did something embarrassing or like
they focused on themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just got to kind of treat it like a video game.
Yeah. And that's a whole different topic of like, because the social part of it, I think a lot of young men struggle with too. Just like, I don't know, like, because high school is so cruel,
Yeah,
like,
it's a crazy place. Yeah.
With just like status and like you have to be cool, or it's just like just be yourself, and that's also kind of terrible advice, because if you tell someone to be themselves, they're like, well, I'm being myself and nothing's happening. So it's like, I don't know, I'm going down a completely different hole, but yeah, I think it would be cool to like go into more motivating stuff, or like, because I'm 27, it's like I just went through an interesting phase in my life from like, let's say 18 to 27. Like a lot of younger people can benefit, because when I was 18, I would never expect 27 to feel like this. I feel like I'm 18 still. Like, do you get that feeling?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I walk around and sometimes I look and I'm like, 26 was a scary age for me to turn because 25 you can kind of like round down to like you're kind of like still like college age. But as soon as I hit 26, I just remember like being like looking in the mirror and just being like, dude, like I don't feel 26. Like I still
Yeah, when
like,
you imagine a 26-year-old when you're 18, you go, whoa, fucking old. And now
yeah.
you're 26 and you're like, it's a fucking joke. Like I'm still
Yeah,
young.
I feel no different than I did a year ago.
Yeah, which is so interesting. But no one really teaches you that path between 20 and 26, 27. It's like you can almost teach people that age to like what to expect and shit like that. Right.
Nobody really talks about your 20s. Everybody talks about like high school, college, how to navigate that. But like I feel like there's some people who talk about it.
Yeah, it's so insane.
But I feel like the 20s is the one part of life that is like the most different for people because in your 20s, you're at this point where everybody's path becomes different. Like you're no longer in a community. You kind of got to fend for yourself. You're out on your own. So I think that's definitely something. Like there's a ton of untapped potential out there. There's not many people who are talking about like their experience in their 20s because I feel like somebody's right now like 21, 22, like they might be going through some stuff and like hearing from somebody who's in their later 20s on, you know, how their experience shaped them. Cause like, I know I was doing shit at 22 that I was so worried. I remember I was at my first job and like, I didn't like it. And I thought that was like the end of the world. Like I just like, dude, I was losing it. And then like, I ended up getting a new job, which I did like. And then like, I'm doing this entire social media thing. Like also I wasn't in good shape back then. And it's like, if I like back then saw how I'm doing now, I'd be like, damn, like, all right, cool. So, I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like everybody gets a little bit lost at some point and it's good to see some like, get some guidance on that.
Yeah. And just think of this. It's like, you never really know someone like, let's say super famous or even at our level. Like we kind of just show up, let's say social media presence, but they don't know what happened like the 10 years that made us this version of ourselves that has a big following now. You know what I'm saying? So they almost think this just happens. It's like, no, you go through this process. For example, like I'm pretty sure the CEO of Starbucks was poor and then until like 29. And then boom, he became the CEO, well known or whatever. He made Starbucks. It's like, he's super successful, but you never hear of what he did leading up to that, you know, or like some famous actor that's 35 is just like super famous all of a sudden. You don't know the shitstorm they went through 10 years before that. So I think that's undervalued and under talked about of like that type of stuff, you know?
I think you see people's highlight reels. I got to be better about that. Just kind of sharing my story and like, people's like vulnerabilities and stuff and just kind of shit they've been through over the years. Cause you always see kind of the like the positive stuff, but you don't see what people have gone through.
Yeah. And a lot of people could help a lot of people, you know? Yeah. TikTok is cool like that because you can just post a video and 100,000 people can potentially see it.
Yeah.
But,
you never know.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're almost at 2 hours.
Yeah.
Man. Go to bed.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, dude, this has been a crazy conversation. I really appreciate you coming on. Definitely learned a lot about the track life and the decathlon and all that, and I'm definitely gonna hit that 400 meter run in the near future. I'll let you know how that goes.
Fucking awesome.
I'll do a video on that.
I should make that a video too. Everyone needs to do at least one 400 meter dash in their lifetime.
Yes. All right, man. Well, thanks again for coming on. Everybody follow Jack Flood. I think it's Jack Flood with 2 O's.
Yeah, 3 O's.
3 O's. Sorry,
I have 2 O's in my name, but I had to do 3 O's because it's all I had.
3 O's. Jack Flood on Instagram. Jack Flood on TikTok. Anywhere else?
I started Twitter recently. I just tweet thoughts. It's the same. It's Jack A Flood. Jack A Flood. Follow Jack A Flood on Twitter. All right, guys. Well,
signing off for tonight. See you on the next episode.
Yeah.
Later.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Of course, bro.
All right. See ya.